How are you today? Hope you're fine. Today we are going to continue our lesson about the weather, and we have here a question. We are talking here in this chapter about the water cycle. Okay, so where do you see water in this picture? As you can see, we have like water all around the land, right? Here we have an inquiry activity. Where did the water go? So we have here both cups. So both cups have away with water and mark the water level. Cover one cup with a plastic wrap. Tap on the cup and place both cups in a sunny place. Predict what will the level of the water change and record the data. Write what you see in each cup and draw a conclusion. What would you happen if you used twice as much water? Okay, so we are going to just collect the data. How does water disappear? When you jump into a swimming pool and you feel the water on your body, this water is liquid. But the water is not always liquid. When the water heats up, some of it changes into gas, and we cannot see the water can evaporate or it change from liquid into gas. The gas will travel in the air as a water vapor. Okay, so we know that the water in the liquid state, okay, I call the liquid water is liquid, right? But in case we are heating it up, we just put it on the oven or put it on the stove, so some of the water is going to evaporate and it change into vapor. Liquid water from the pond evaporate into the water vapor in the air. So the water is going to evaporate and change into water vapor. Cloud form everywhere, not just over the water. So we can find cloud everywhere, not only over the evaporated water. So let's see what will happen here. So water evaporate and rise in the warm air. As the air cools, it can no longer hold the water vapor, so the water changes again. And this times the water vapor will condense and turn into a liquid again, and the water form into tiny droplets, and sometimes this droplet form a cloud. So again here we have the water is going to evaporate and form water vapor. When it touch a cold surface, it will change into cloud. So again, this is like the way or the reason for forming a cloud, that again the water in the ponds, on the river, on the ocean is going to evaporate, which means it changes from a liquid form into a gas form or water vapor. So this cloud are made of droplets of water. So when it touch a cold surface, so it's going to condense and form a cloud which made of droplets of water. Okay, so the water vapor arise in the warm air. As the air cools, it can no longer hold the water vapor, so the water changes again. This time the water vapor will condense and return back into liquid, and the water forms into water droplets. Sometimes these droplets form a cloud. So again, water is going to evaporate into water vapor, and when it move up, the air is going to cool down and it change from the gas form into liquid form, which is a water droplets that form the cloud. What is the water cycle? Water evaporate from the oceans and rivers and lakes, and then the water condense into cloud and fall as its participation. We call this changes the water cycle. All over the earth, water is always moving through the water cycle. So, as you can see, water is warmed by the sun, evaporate and rise into the air. So, any water on the surface going to warm up by or heats up by the sun. Once the air cools, the water condense and form a cloud. How does the water gets the cloud? As we said, the water is going to evaporate and then it moves to the sky and then going to cool down and then form a cloud. What happens in the water cycle? What happens when water evaporates? And what about water changes when it evaporates? So as we said, that once the water is going to cool down, the precipitation will happen. It's going to fall as a rain, snow, silt, and hail. Um, Over time, and rain, melted snow, and flow back into the lakes and rivers and ocean. Here in front of us, when you predict, you will see what you know to tell what thing will happen. Okay, I can see that, or I can tell that what I know, and I predict what will happen. Kendra needs to decide which food where she should wear outside. What do you think? What I know it's raining, so of course it's going to wear the wearing boot. I predict that the Kendra will wear the rain boot. Okay. Look through this window at the thermometer. What type of weather do you think is coming? Of course, it's like a very cloudy, and the temperature is very low, so I think it's going to rain. This is all about my lesson. Hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next session.